All right, in this video, I'm going to go over the notes that we've talked about here. I won't show the videos for the, I won't show the videos that are embedded inside of this PowerPoint because then this video would be too long and I won't be able to upload it. So I'm going to go ahead and go through these notes fairly quickly so that I can get to everything in this one video. Here we go. So we're going to be talking about deltas, canyons, sand dunes, and U-shaped valleys, how they're made. That's what we're looking at. So the first one is we're going to look at a delta. So a delta here is showing that this is a river going down, going through land, and as it's going here, it's going actually downhill. It's going to be moving at a certain speed. Now, as it's moving at a certain speed here, it's going to start slowing down once it gets to sea level because it's no longer at elevation. It's no longer high going down. It's now kind of leveling out, and because of that, it's losing energy. And since it's losing energy, it's going to be depositing sediment here. And as it deposits sediment, it's going to be dropping some here, 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 here. It's going to try to find its way to the sea, though. The river's going to keep trying to get to the sea. And so it's going to carve out channels throughout this area. But this soil that it's brought is extremely fertile, very fertile soil. And so because of that fertile soil that it's brought, it's a lot of plant and animal life is able to grow there. So this is the Nile River in Egypt. This is the delta right here. This is the Nile River's delta. And notice just how green it is. Look at it in contrast to the following at the desert surrounding it. It's so green and luscious because it's got all that sediment that it's brought from so far away. It's rich sediment that all that plant life and animal life can live in. And here's another one, just showing the same thing. Look at all these slight little channels that are going through here where the sediment's been deposited. It's still going to the sea. It's still getting out to the ocean. However, it's slowed down, so because of that, all that sediment, it's found its way here. Look how it's just kind of piled itself all the way out that way. And then I have a lab video kind of illustrating that right here on the next one. So that's that. Then we're gonna get to canyons. Canyons, the most familiar type of canyon is probably the river canyon, and that is that the water pressure of a river can cut down deep into riverbeds, and sediment from the river are carried downstream, creating a deep, narrow channel. So that would look like this. See how the river there is kind of running through here. And what that river's doing is as it's running, it's going to start carving out little by little. It's going to carve out these the channels here, or carve out through the rock, creating this canyon. So this is the Grand Canyon. Both of those are pictures of the Grand Canyon. Here's an aerial view here, kind of showing the carved mountain sides here. And I have a video here that kind of illustrates that as well. The next one is a sand dune. A sand dune is a mound of sand formed by wind, usually along the beach or in the desert. Dunes form when wind blows sand into a sheltered area behind an obstacle, that is, and dunes grow as grains of sand accumulate. That's from National Geographic. That's what it's showing. So here, the sand would be going uphill, and as it's going up, it's going to start losing. Some energy. The wind is, because it's going up, so it's changing direction. It's going to lose a bit of energy, and so because of that, it's going to start depositing sediment. And that's why these mounds end up getting higher and higher. So there's some pictures here showing. See, the wind's going up, and so as it's going up, it's going to start depositing sand. It'll go over, yeah, but not as much sand is going to be going that way. So here's another one from the opposite view. The wind's going, it's going to be blowing that up, blowing up, blowing up. And so it's at a gradual angle here. But then when you get on the other side, the side that's not where the prevalent wind comes from, it's going to be less of an incline. It's going to be a steeper incline. Or it's going to not be less of an incline. It's going to be greater of an incline. It's going to be steeper because here that gradual slope is because of the wind dropping all the sediment here. All right, and I have a video showing that. The next one is how glaciers make U-shaped valleys. So glaciers are masses of ice, particularly melted particles, particularly melted snow, and debris together. Not melted snow. There's parts of melted snow in them, but it's ice and some melted snow, debris. And glaciers, what they do is they're very heavy, and they can be found on mountains, usually in very cold, extremely cold areas. But due to gravity, these glaciers begin to slide down mountains into valleys. And as they move down these mountains, they tear away rocks and create huge U-shaped valleys. So here's a picture of a U-shaped valley that was carved out by a glacier. Here's another one. You can see the glaciers back here in the background, you see these giant, massive amounts of snow. You can see them up in here a little bit and there as well. So long ago, these glaciers were much more massive, and they were able to carve. They started moving down the mountains, and as they went, they worked like just a giant plow, just or a bulldozer, kind of just pushing everything in their way, getting it all out of their way because they're so massive. They did that. They were able to just plow through it and bust all those, even those the giant rocks and everything there, and move them out of the way. So here's a diagram showing that here is a glacier moving down a mountain, and as it's moving, it's picking up little, or not little, sometimes massive rocks. It's going to pick up rocks, and it'll drop rocks as well, and it's going to keep pushing them, plowing through there. Here's showing it here as well. Here's a glacier moving down two directions, picking up sediment, and as it gets to lower elevation where it's warmer, it's going to start to melt, and there you see the deposits of the glacier till is what that is, but it's soil and rocks that the glaciers picked up, ground into the soil on the left right there. And so I have a video lab right here where I show that. All right, I'm going to end this video so it's not too long.